You're listening to the Unfinished Projects podcast with your host, Amy Chance. And now for the show.
Guys, I need a studio. All right. Oh my goodness. All right. Look at this. What the hell? All right. All right, guys. I had a last minute dropout for the podcast, so I'm going to do something completely new to me. I'm going to go on TikTok Live and see if I can talk to random people, if they would be willing to talk about their unfinished project. Am I scared? Absolutely. Am I curious how it's going to unfold? Absolutely. Okay. I'm a little scared. Oh, God. All right. Yeah, it's like, should I cancel the podcast? I'm like, you know what? No. Production, the timeline, time will still go on. The calendar won't pause itself for my podcast, so the show goes on. Let's hear how this happens. I'm afraid. Okay. Oh God. All right, guys. Here we go. So I got my stuff in. I'm gonna be doing it from my cell phone. Okay, I'm a little nervous. All right, here we go. Oh, sorry about that. All right, okay. All right. Panic attack. All right, here we go. All right. Good thing I poured wine in my Buttercup Media Club glass. By the way, these mugs are now for sale in my Etsy shop. Link in bio. All right, yeah. Buttercup Media Club. I got the Unfinished Projects podcast mug. And, yeah. All right, guys. So I got my camera over here. I'm freaking out internally, but gotta love it. They say go in the face of fear. Is go in the face of fear really just life telling us, like life is telling me, don't do the TikTok live. Don't even open up that can of worms. All right. Anyway, God. All right. Here we go. Whew. All right. Guys, I'm scared. Oh. Hey, G. Clemens Comedy. If you want to be on my podcast, hop on. I don't know how. This is like my second live, and it's weird. Live is a weird thing. All right. Hey, Henry Emma James, what's up? Wait. Randy Davis, hey. Zero. I don't know how to use live. Forgive the awkwardness. Fun trip. Nice. Okay, we got some people coming in. Does anybody want to do a podcast currently and talk about unfinished projects? Hey, Terena, how are you? Oh my goodness. Oh my God, thank you. Yes, thank you. L Ross 631. Oh my gosh. Up, everybody joining. Okay, all right. Like your screen name, Murtherfuck, whatever. Nice. Hi, Bill Gilbert 6. What's up? Yeah. Tori. Oh my God, Tori. Oh my God. For those of you here, Tori and I have been best friends since first grade, and then Tori moved. Oh, yay. Oh my God. That is, how are you doing? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Oh my God. Wait. Tori!
How's it going?
Good. Let's see. On the chat is Terena, Tori.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Oh my God. How are you doing? This is
I am doing so good.
This is lovely.
There's a Christmas tree lighting in the town that I live in, so I'm like I look a little rugged because I'm getting ready to go. But...
No, that's awesome. Oh my God.
Mom, what, can I see too? No. I have a little one. She's
That
4.
is so cute. Hi. What
I don't show her on camera, but she's trying to get in here the best she can.
How cute. Oh my God.
So what's going on? What are you doing on live?
Well, okay, so I have this podcast, the Unfinished Projects podcast, and so I was like, all right, well, maybe I'll go on live and just kind of like talk to people and see if anybody would want to be on it. I don't know. I know you're creative. If you would want to be on the pod, I know you're probably got like 5 minutes, but I'd love to hear if you have any unfinished projects.
That's my life. My life is an unfinished project.
That is, oh my God. Well, you have
I have
an
like
awesome
ADHD.
Me
So,
too.
like, I've got like 10 projects going right now. I've got like all these Etsy orders that need to go out. I have all these personal orders that need to go out. I'm trying to get ready to go to this Christmas tree.
And you're a mom, so that
Yes.
has a lot. Oh my God. By the way, like you're crushing it in your Etsy shop and I see it. Like you're that's amazing. Congrats.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited, but it comes with its own stressors. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever looked up what imposter syndrome is. It's I swear
have every
to God,
syndrome.
I swear to God I have it, because it says like it doesn't matter the amount of success that you have. It's just like you just still can't believe it. Like I know I'm doing well. People are showing me that I do well, and like I still I'm like, this is happening right now.
And it's like you have the work done, you put the elbow grease in, you have orders to prove it, but yet that feeling still hits.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
what do I do?
Say...
I have my own Etsy store. Sorry, I didn't come on here to promote myself. I came
Please
on here
do.
to say hi to you.
Wait, what is your Etsy
I
shop?
have my own Etsy.
How can people find it?
So go to my bio, etsy.com/shop/Tori Heyman Creations. I sell, right now, my top seller is air fresheners. If you've ever seen the show Trailer Park Boys.
Yes.
Those are my top seller right now. I've been like selling them like crazy.
That is so cool. How did you even get involved with having an Etsy shop? Like, what inspired you?
So it came out of need. I used to be a security officer at a hospital, and I just like found myself like super miserable. And my relationship with my ex like started going downhill, and he and I ended up getting divorced. And so I have a boyfriend now. This is like in a nutshell. All of this is over the course of like years, right?
Gotcha. Well, congrats on the divorce. That's exciting.
So I have a boyfriend now, but anyway, I'm a single mom. I do live on my own. I have my own house and all of that, in that aspect of things. And I just wanted to be able to stay home and provide for my daughter and, you know, not have to take anybody's crap anymore.
Yeah. And was the hospital, like, were you working there during COVID, or were you lucky enough to?
Yes. So when I was
so stressful.
I was there just when COVID like first started coming into the United States, and I remember being at work and the first COVID, like the first patient that we were going to test for COVID came in, and like I went in to get the belongings, so I was actually like the first one exposed to it. But I got tested and everything after that, but I got so lucky that way. But yeah,
thank goodness.
But I'm glad to be out of there for now.
Yeah. Oh,
so what are you doing? Where are you living at?
Well, right now, so my lease expired in the city, and I was just sitting in my apartment, and with COVID, I wasn't going anywhere, so I'm at my parents' house. Yeah, what's up? Millennial
I
living
love
with
that,
the
though.
parents.
I love
original. I want to move back. I'm hoping for February, so I just have to figure out how to eat. It's like when I left New
One
York,
day at a time.
Right. When I left, I said, goodbye, New York. I will see you once I can afford to live there without a roommate. So right now I'm refusing to live with a roommate because, always some weird stuff goes on with roommates.
Yeah.
Like, Like, I don't want to be
That's why I like
texted on a
having my own house.
yes. Oh my God.
So
So
I
yeah,
live
so
in
that
Oregon, and it's actually like the housing is super affordable. I mean, the town that I live in, there's not much room for like advancement. Like there's only like so many jobs. It's a very small town. It's probably like, half the size of where we grew up. But yeah, I'm comfortable here. My business is doing well here, and I can afford my own house here, which is like super important to me. So
hey, maybe I should go to Oregon. I mean, it seems
you're
like the perfect place to do your art and like
you
your
would be so good
projects.
in Portland. You would do well in Portland.
Is it
For sure.
expensive though in
In
Portland?
Portland it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd have
I
to live
live
outside.
I live all the way in southern Oregon, so it's practically California, but it's like the rural, like there's tons of farms and land around me, mountains.
Oh, that's so nice. Do you feel like you got more creative in Oregon once you moved there?
I don't think creative would be the word, but I would say like more confident. Just like this past like 2 years, like just the amount of growth that I've done with myself. It's like I still feel like I can't believe this is happening, but also I'm not scared anymore to just do things. Because
Yeah.
with anxiety and everything else, you would just really think of like what like my biggest fear is like doing like a craft show or like posting my stuff and then nobody like nobody looks at it or nobody wants it, and then I'll just be like,
Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah,
know that feeling all too well. Like, even with the podcast, like, I get very shy with asking people, like, hey, you want to come on? Like, my biggest fear would be like, well, I mean, like, just reject, like, ew, like, you think I would go on your pod? Like, but I know, and then I get embarrassed with sharing my work, and it's funny because it's all an illusion. It's like, it's like, share your work. What's the worst that could happen is people judge. Well, what were those people to you anyway?
yeah,
Like, if you're gonna like
exactly,
shit on my work, then why are you watching it?
yeah, for
It is
sure.
kind of like a
That's why I feel
mental
like if you don't like
gymnastics
my
of like,
stuff, if you don't like my stuff, like I'm sorry, but I'm sure that there's somebody else. But and a lot of people I get like issues with people like, oh well, you're making the same things as somebody else. Yeah, well, it might be the same exact like product and concept, right? But it's different in the way that my soul goes into my stuff, like
yeah,
I'll stay up late at night and I'll put all that time and effort into it and I'll make my packaging look nice, and nobody's going to have it exactly the same way that I do. So,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Nobody has Tori's eye, like nobody has your point of view to do it. So, and I mean, also it's like in art, people can borrow inspiration from each other, but it's like no matter what, you are you, so you would do it original. So,
Yeah,
if only there was a shield for judgments, like we could hold up
right.
and be like, oh my
I'm my
God.
own biggest judger
So
though. In the end it's always me. Spoiler
same.
alert, it's me.
Same. It's funny. I know. It's like, some people like, it's like, okay, you can't hurt me. I hurt myself the worst. Let's see.
Right.
Hey, Spazz. So Spazz says most people buy the artist, not the art. Keep creating. So true.
Thanks.
That's really
Yeah,
good.
that's true.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
because
I
it's
have to
like
get ready for this
personality.
Christmas tree lighting, so I have to get off
Tori.
here really quick. But I swear to God, thank you so
Yes.
much for calling me. I'm so
No,
excited right
thank
now.
you. Do
And
you mind if I post this on my YouTube channel? Is
no,
that
do
okay?
it. Yeah,
All
go
right.
for it. So tell
Okay,
your mom and
Tori,
dad I said
give you a
hello,
hug. Yes, tell your
and I
mom,
am so
sister.
proud of you. Keep doing what
Thank
you're doing,
you.
okay?
You too. Oh my goodness. All right, I got to come out to Oregon.
Bye.
All right, well, have
Bye.
fun. All right, bye. Oh my goodness, that was so good, guys. So yeah, so Tori and I, we met in first grade, and Tori's dad was in the military. So he moved, people in the military, they move every 2 to 3 years. And so it stunk. Like I would get so close to people, and Tori, we were best friends, like inseparable. So when Tori moved, it was like, but as you could see, it's cool. Like some people you pick right up. So Tori, I'm so happy I get to catch up with you. Oh gosh. That is the beauty of social media. It's like, I think as humans, sometimes we don't keep in touch. And then it's like, thanks to social media, I'm just delighted to have that. Love you, Tori. All right. So let's see. Terena asked people come on the pod, but scared. Yeah, rejection. It is an embarrassing thing getting rejected for the pod, but whatever. It's like the worst that could happen is you ask. But what's funny is I feel the eye roll, and that's the painful part. Like you ask and it's like, no problem. But then I don't know. It sucks being like sensitive to energy. Anyway. Oh my gosh, and Spazz, that was so good. People buy your art to buy a piece of you. I like that. Cool. Well, would anybody be interested in coming on camera and being on the pod? Comment below. Let me know. Let's see. Guys, Spahzz and I have been TikTok friends since maybe a year now. Oh, what the heck? This is an honor to meet you live. This is so cool.
It's so good to be here. How's it going?
Good. By the way, you mind if I put this on my YouTube channel? If not,
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Oh my gosh. So people can find you. Where can they find you? Your social media links to help you grow. TikTok.com/@Spahzz.
We'll just stick to Spazz. I tend to keep my professional identity undercover as much as possible. But yeah, if you look up the word Spazz on Google, I am all top 30,000 of those people because I've had this name since like 1994.
That's amazing. Oh my God. And how did you get it? I know I'm a Spazz. Like I'm a Spazz. So like as a kid, were you kind of like energetic?
Yeah, I'm firmly living in denial of being an ADHD individual. But if you looked at it hard enough, I probably qualify. But yeah, it was worse as a kid. And I'm old enough that it was before the internet. It was before the whole so randomness of the 2000s happened, where it became normal to be the random kid and random media. And it was funny, and Nickelodeon picked it up, and all the animation and cartoons picked it up. You got SpongeBob out of all that. But when I was a kid in the late 80s and early 90s, I was just the weirdo. I was just the one kid out there doing his own thing.
Wow. Yeah, and now it's like quirky and cute,
Yeah.
Like I remember when New Girl came on with Zooey Deschanel. I was like, okay, cool. I don't mind them like making weirdness cute.
I love that. She went a long way to popularize being like geek chic for women, and I don't hate that.
Really did. Exactly. Yeah, like it definitely is kind of liberating, and yeah, I don't know. But also to that point, it's also like the unique gem. Like I think some people are such like diamonds, and I think like sometimes the energetic, the kids that are like whoa, woo, they're like suppressed and made to feel like something's wrong, and then we internalize it, and it's like, no, that's just a soul that's like gifted to create and do different stuff, and we need different personalities anyway. So
well, it's funny when you say gifted, because most of my friends, myself as well, labeled gifted as a child, and it would be interesting to delve into what that does to a child developmentally. Like what does it do to you to be told you're gifted, and then get into the real world and find out that like, are you really though, or are you just a big fish in a small town in a small pond?
That is
I don't know if it helps.
That is so interesting. You're right. You're right. Well, I think yeah, that is so interesting. I've we're all gifted. Oh my
We all have
goodness.
our own gifts.
Exactly. Let's see. Trina said, embrace my public. Yeah, that is the cool thing. Now, like, Spaz, you think on TikTok it helped you embrace your weirdness?
Oh, the anonymity was fantastic. Nothing can boost your your on-camera presence more than seeing yourself on camera. You have to do it. You have to get in front of the camera. You have to realize that your speech patterns are wrong and that
Wow,
you have to fix them. When I'm not on camera, I speak at about 3,000 miles an hour, like pretty classic fast talker. And
So
I just have to
true.
slow it down on camera. Also, I'll speak slower and in a lower register because up here, like no, it's not as compelling. So yeah, getting on the camera, you have to in order to live in a world that's being filmed, and that's where social media, that's where media is going. People want to see what they're seeing. And interesting,
Yeah.
when you have a podcast, forgive me, I've never seen it, but do you share the video as well, or do you just do audio?
Yeah, I share the video as well on my YouTube channel.
Cool.
I feel like with the pandemic, it's merging like being good with social media and knowing how to present yourself online. It's right, where we're at in society. It's like to be on Zoom and be able to present yourself. So
I think the next step for right now, I want to say that I'm approaching 40, so I'm on the elder side of being a millennial, just barely a millennial.
happy early
And for me,
birthday.
social media. Thank you. It's not weird for someone of my age to be on social media and to edit video, to edit photos, and procure an online presence. But it's even I'm seeing 7 and 8-year-olds editing video, and I just learned how to do that in 2020. I just learned how to do that, and I'm paid very well to be a creative director, and I just learned how to do it. And it's the video editing capabilities of small children is just gonna blow us away. And then we could talk metaverse if you want.
Not being a kid in this day and age all the time, because I'm trying to teach myself how to code too, and I look at these kids who are coding already at 8 years old, and I'm like, is it too late for me to learn how to code? Like, I'm like a code dinosaur versus these 8-year-olds who are building robots.
I don't know if it's too old. You have to ask yourself, what is the goal? What do you want to do with the coding? If you want to write an entire piece of 3D rendered software, maybe you don't have the time to pursue that. But if you want to write code to maybe make your spreadsheet work a little bit smoother, to automate, I don't know, pushing social media, sure, you could learn that code. That's no problem.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's just fun to let your brain grow a little bit. You know what, though, we do have is the ability to answer a phone call. Like these kids, these poor kids are lacking. One time at a job, we had a temp come in, and she was 19 years old, and the phone rang, and she backed away from the phone. The phone rang, and she goes like that, and I'm like, oh no, it's okay. Like, here, just pick it up. Thank you for calling. Blah blah blah. And she just looked at me like this. And I was like, oh, this is a legit, fear. So.
Well, do you think that is typical of her demographic, or do you think that she specifically has some sort of social awkwardness? Was she awkward in general?
Not at all. In fact, she is like, it's in New York City, and she's like a popular singer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why she was a temp, because like it gives her the flexibility, and she has a high social media thing. But also, I think maybe you could relate as someone online. Performers we are kind of some of the shyest people, and people tend to be really surprised are you an ambivert? Or like how
I am.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I can swing hard in both directions. I'm fine to sit alone in front of a computer, edit video, mix an audio track. I like producing EDM, play a video game, be on Zoom, and I'm comfortable. I was fine in 2020. I thrived.
Same.
But at the same time, the first time someone hits up social media and is like, hey, here's what we're doing, I will drop all of that in a heartbeat, go do it, and be the one handing out drinks and causing a ruckus. Like, I think
That's perfect.
I feel like I'm a poster child for Ambivert.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And in terms of unfinished projects, do you have a lot of unfinished projects?
Well, in my personal life, absolutely. Things that I designed for me,
Right.
yes. But professionally, no, that's not an option.
Oh,
I guess the
absolutely.
biggest unfinished project is my own learning, my own education. Because I'm a pretty big believer that you should continue to educate yourself and learn new things
Yeah.
and push yourself. So yeah, I think that an individual's own creativity, their own abilities, that's the biggest unfinished project.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just gotta let them go. Sometimes you'll start something, you'll start an edit, you'll start a song, you'll start something, and you'll iterate on it enough times that it's not what it started out as. And you just gotta let that original thing go. And go with where the flow takes you. You gotta go with where the creativity is taking
So
you.
true.
Follow the muse. And so yeah, of course, for personal things I've done, yeah. I mean, even on TikTok, I've branched out into different styles of video. I did a little bit of cosplay. I did a lot of duets. I tried to be funny. I tried to be serious. I tried to a bunch of different things to see where I might catch fire. And nothing has been fantastic. I have a few thousand people that followed me for one video I made a year ago.
Wow.
It's the only reason I have any follows. I made one video that got like 500,000 views, got me a few thousand followers, and then most of those people I want to say are like under the age of 8.
Right,
Literally.
right.
You could tell that they aren't seeing the rest of your videos because I've never liked another thing I've done since. And it's good because I don't censor myself. I'm not making child content. I just made one thing that got big inside of that side of TikTok, and I'm kind of glad I didn't stay there. So I don't know. I have a lot of fun connecting with people on TikTok though. Like this. This is fantastic.
Yeah, this is so cool. I follow a lot of those, like, here's how to grow your TikTokers, you know, and they always talk about the curse of having a viral video if it's not connected
in your niche.
to in your niche, because it will attract the wrong target market, which
you have to ask yourself, what is your target? Do you have a preferred target? And if you do, and you can't hit it, are you comfortable moving the target? Like, if I made content for 8-year-olds and I wanted to actually monetize and be a promoter and be an influencer, maybe that's my niche. Maybe the population isn't wrong. Maybe that's where I have value. That's not where I wanted to go, and I didn't pursue it. But I mean, if you ask yourself, is the wrong audience really wrong?
Interesting. Hold on, my head is blown real quick. Hold on. Is the wrong audience really wrong? Yeah, you know, I think there's like who you want to be your target audience. You know, it's like, that the quirky person who's like getting a coffee in Williamsburg, that's who I want. You know, the awkward kind of like former manic pixie dream girl. And it's like, because, you know, that's who I could talk that stuff all day.
That's who you want to be, right?
Exactly.
You want to attract who you want to be.
Yes. And it's like, okay, well, maybe that's not, it's so confusing as a person in advertising, but also a content creator. Is it the same target market with like in advertising as content creaters? Like,
okay, so you know, in marketing, it goes if you're for everyone, then you're for no one.
Oof,
right?
Yeah.
You can't make it for
I want to be liked, just like me.
Well,
yeah,
you need to know who, right? You got to be very specific about who you're going
Yeah.
after. And unfortunately, and fortunately, where you might get the most value isn't out of the people who are like you. And by value, I mean people who value you. Other people like you, other people who do the same kind of things you do and who you might hang out with in a bar might not get a lot of value out of your content because they're doing it too. They're living the same life as you. They're simpatico with it. But if you find people who are shy and lusting after being the quirky person, maybe that, or maybe the young kid, maybe someone who's 10, 12, a preteen, seeing someone, a young adult out doing their thing and being quirky and creative and pursuing their passions, maybe that's the audience that would find a lot of value in that. So you may not have found the niche of people that will crave the thing that you're doing. And it may not be your peers. It probably isn't your peers.
That is so interesting. You know, I've noticed that on my Instagram, it's a lot of like like comedy peers and like friends and family. And I'm realizing, okay, those are my friends. But in terms of like,
those are your fans.
My one friend was like, dude, like I had to mute you. Like I can't take seeing all this, promotional stuff. But yeah, they aren't your fans though, which is so interesting. I
mean, your friends can't be your fans. They really can't be. The relationship is different. The dynamic is different. But you have to be willing to accept the audience that is finding you pop. Like, then the audience isn't wrong. And if you don't want that audience, then you got to change. Like, you have to figure out, what do you find value in? Do you follow content creators making content like you? Do you? Maybe a few. And then, like you said, they become your peers. You do podcasts with them. You become creative professionals. You get together, you bounce ideas. These are people, there's a handful of them. They're probably close, but they're not your fans. So who is it that you follow? And then maybe you need to project it being that person, not the person who you want to follow, not the person who, they're not the same level.
Oh my God, that is so deep. Oh my God. Yeah, I feel like on TikTok, a lot of the people who I enjoy are like giving good tips.
Professionals.
So yes. Well, and you bring up a good point. You reminded me how important it is to absorb material too. Like my brain is always kind of just plugged into Audible, or my eyes are in a book. And it's like, I don't absorb content. Like, my one friend loves reading books, and she's like, oh, what are you reading? And I'm like, Had to Be Vulnerable, Brené Brown. It's like, no, I actually need to read fiction. Us as artists and creatives, we do need to consume content for fun again.
Absolutely. And what you consume may not be what you make. They may be completely different, and they probably will be. I don't know. I mean, how well can you make content for your peers? Now, you tell me that you follow the people that are experts in their field, right? Give tips. So
love tips.
If you want to live there, you need to do your 10,000 hours, become an expert in one thing, and then give those tips. And how far are you away from that? I don't know, 5 years. With 10,000, you work 2,000 hours a year, 5 years. So the magic 10,000 hours that they write about is 5 years of full-time work. So you're no more than 5 years away from being an expert in any topic that you choose. And then you can give those tips. But you'll be giving it.
You're no more
You'll be
than
giving it in the metaverse.
Years. My brain is blown currently. That was an excellent quote. You're no more than 5 years away from being an expert. And that is so true. Consistency.
Absolutely. What you do every day is what you will do well. Great arts. You gotta quote Macklemore here. The greats weren't great because at birth they could paint. The greats were great because they paint a lot. And that was from his song 10,000 Hours, which is about this topic. So a full-time job, 40 hours a week, is just 2,080 hours a year. That's how much you're working when you're doing 40 hours, right? To get 10,000 hours, you got to do 40 hours a week for 5 years straight. And so maybe if you were a server for 5 years, that wasn't your passion. That wasn't where your heart was at.
Yeah.
You're probably an expert at it by now.
That's true.
That is a body of knowledge that you have. And guess what? There are a lot of people out there who could relate to that content. There you go. So,
and
I mean, that might be something
being
you aim at.
Vulnerable. Yeah. Like,
Absolutely.
I kind of like to have a wall up for like what I put online. I like a wall, a nice thick, like you can't get in here. But I think vulnerability plus what you were saying is the
I'm waving at my
10,000
friend in our chat.
All American Beard. Hi, All American Beard.
He's one of the great American men pulling trucks across the country and doing a good job at it. He's an amazing father. He's a good guy. Has a fantastic dark sense of humor. We've been online friends for a while. I love the guy.
Oh, it's so cool. As a truck driver, All American Beard, do you listen to a lot of like podcasts or? That's a great place to like, listen to books on tape and learn something. It's so cool. Oh my goodness. So now with your content, creative wise, do you plan what you're going to do or do you just film it?
Okay. I just film it. When I'm browsing other people, my peers, the thing I'm telling you not to do. That's why I don't have followers. I'm browsing my peers, looking for duets and audios that resonate with me and that I want to put out there that I would like. And if someone bites on that, fantastic. If I get 50 likes on something, that is ridiculous. I generally get 20. So if I can get 50, I'm like, woo, 50 people, because that means like 30 of them were strangers. And 30 strangers liking my content, there you go. Now, that being said, though I do it on the spot, once I pick that topic, that thing that I want to film, no less than half an hour is spent even on 10 seconds. Like if I'm just memorizing 10 seconds of dialogue, like I'll watch it, I'll go jump in the shower and put it on the Bluetooth speaker and run it, washing my hair. I'm running the line. I'll get on the camera and watch how I'm articulating it. If I'm doing the look away, the look back, pulling my glasses, messing with all of that. Every piece of it is rehearsed and choreographed based on the first time I saw it done. And did I like it? Like, oh, did I lean in a little? Oh, I like that. That's engaging.
It seems so natural. Like I would have never, like you just look so like it's you. And that goes to show you how important it is to practice, with stand-up comedy. It's like I would just
practice.
Yeah, let me just wing it, like thinking magic will be delivered. And it's like, no, dude. Like that was lazy on me of just doing it and thinking magic will come, So
you'll find that one magic piece, right? Like, say you're at an event, at a party, at a dinner, and that whole if you're the funny one of the group, you may come out with one line that night that kills, right? But then it's gone forever. How do you get it back? You become a stand-up comedian and you take it on a stage, and then you do it every night. Every night you go out, you go 2, 3, how many open nights, and you got to do the same bit, and you got to find that pocket and get back in there and figure out what it was that made it funny that first time.
So
and then it's yours. So, but you can't expect that magic to happen extemporaneously through 10, 15 minutes. How through 3 minutes? You're not going to get it. And you're going to crash. You're going to talk to an audience that's staring at you.
You're so right. It's like a huge of the art is making it seem like it's off the cuff, and it's not.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right. Well, I have one more question, and then we'll hop off. All right, now.
Sure. What's up?
Let's say if a genie gave you $1 million, okay, and said, "Hey, I'm going to give you $1 million, but you can only use this money if you invest it in a creative project." How would you use it?
I would put it in the blockchain for certain. Through NFTs, the metaverse. That all of it is synonymous. And if you don't know much about NFTs, you need to start reading. That's where.
So you're in it, like you've done an NFT before?
So an NFT is a non-fungible token. It's a colloquial way of saying that it's a long series of numbers and letters that are unique and done once. It exists one time. Right. And you attach that series of numbers to a piece of art, to anything really, and then it becomes unique. So have I created something with an NFT? No, because you need to buy cryptocurrency first, and that isn't cheap. It's going to cost $100, $200 to buy enough cryptocurrency so you can have the base of what you need to make the NFT. And then if it doesn't sell, if you have it, right? You have your piece of Ethereum, you have it attached to this gift that you made, and it's worth $200 that you spend on the Ethereum. And if no one else buys it, you're out to $200. But now you still have the Ethereum. It still is as valuable as when you bought it. But the only way it goes up is if you somehow create a market for people that want your product. And like I said earlier, people don't generally want art, they want the artist. Like you create a compelling story around yourself.
Yes,
You
I love that.
you create an image, and then you're selling your image with a product. That's why merch works. People don't need another t-shirt. They don't. They have t-shirts. In fact, companies give away t-shirts, and how many of those do you wear? None.
They're the pajama top. I wouldn't be caught in a Frank's plumbing service. Those are what I wear where no one sees it.
So you want the things that you wear to represent the image, like you were saying, that you want to project into the world, the brands that resonate with you. Whether or not you're an Apple person or an Android person, says something about who you are, what kind of car you drive, what kind of content you make. All of this says something about you. And someone else finds it valuable, they want a piece of that however they can get it. So with $1 million, I jump right into that NFT space. Wow. I may not do it as a creative, because honestly, I'm better as a director than as a creative. I have a thimble full of talent, but a lot of managerial presence and leadership. So I would probably hire on a handful of artists with $1 million, start an agency, and we'd focus on the blockchain and kill it.
That's amazing. And then plus that gives artists a place to shine.
And like you said, creatives frequently are introverted, very frequently. So the fact that I'm not and that you're not are probably the weirdness in that group. But typically professional creatives are. And if you can just give them money to be creative, they're happy. They don't necessarily want the limelight. They don't necessarily want the recognition or to have to get on a call or make a podcast or go out and sell. They don't want to sell their art. They want people to buy it. But to sell is a skill and hard. And you have to have a thick skin for it.
Absolutely. I know a lot of, my comedy friends or other medium, whether it's like painting, writing, it's like they hate social media, like loathe it. And there is something to that. So it is kind of like a curse of like needing to be out going online or posting, but like the fact that you have that kind of like managing kind of skill, like you can help.
Leading is a skill in of itself.
Which is so valuable. It is absolutely like, oh my goodness. I mean, so many creative people, it's like, we're so disorganized and like, oh my God. So so for someone to kind of know a spreadsheet, like know how to work a spreadsheet.
Well, you have to ask yourself, if you were given a perfect job situation, would you rather show up to an office, make the things you want to make, and then go home and just get the monetary benefit of it? Or do you want to be recognized? Do you want the fame? You have to ask yourself that, because if you only want the compensation, that's honestly pretty easy, quote unquote. It's much easier to just go into an agency, any kind of creative agency, whether it's traditional art or productions of movies or videos, and just be talent. Being talent is probably the easiest thing to break into, because there's very, very little risk other than your own image. Risk when you're the manager generally is the capital. Like when you're managing the creatives, you're putting yourself out there and you're fronting to paying them, right? You're giving them the paycheck every week, and you have to hope you can sell it. There's the risk. So that's what you have to ask yourself. Do you want the notoriety? Is that what you're after? And are you using art to get there? Or do you just want to create and wash your hands of it? And that will tell you which way to go.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what's interesting? I saw on TikTok this girl who was a talent manager of the stars. Or she casted people. Like she said she picked, she discovered, I forget what actress, but she said she can tell a star quality. And she said there's two types of star qualities in people. There's one with the rainbow aura, and those they love to create. They are happy just to do it. But then there's one with a blank aura. They have zero aura, and those are the fame those are the ones who are just thirsty for the fame. They don't care about the creation process. They just want to be famous. And
which are you?
So I'm a rainbow. Like I just want to I could just be happy just creating. But I'll be honest though, like I mean, I feel like we can all get sucked up into the blank aura though. You know what I mean? Like it with numbers, or just like double checking your phone And then it's like, why do I care? Like, I gotta tell myself all the time, like, stop caring. It's so irrelevant. Now, as someone like you have a pretty big following, do you get caught up? Like, how do you manage not getting caught up in the double checking your phone, seeing if you get likes?
I'll be honest, I don't have a big following. Like the raw numbers, if these are speculatively speaking, based on my observations of doing TikTok for 2 years, is that I probably have anywhere from 100 to 200 other adults, anywhere from the ages of like 18 to my parents' age, right? I have a couple hundred adults that look at my content regularly, but I have 4,000 followers. I got 3,000 of those from one video from a demographic that's now being censored from my videos. I know for a fact TikTok doesn't show that to them. I know they don't, because it would be inappropriate for them to do that. And not a single child has liked any of my videos other than that one. So my video made it because it was very rated G in cosplay, into that niche, made its round at 500,000. They followed me, but who cares? Not my target audience, right? But it got me enough in order to be able to go live. And that's kind of the goal, right? Like doing this is what you want to do when you have 10 followers, is to be able to get on and go live. So do I have to manage the thing? No, because when I make a video, I get anywhere from 10 to 50 likes at most. And honestly, if I don't recognize the name, 100% of the people who like a video that I do that I don't recognize, I go and look at their content. I go and look at who they are, because it's not that many. It's I look at the people who are, and it's generally other people who are in my demographic. So socioeconomically, culturally, but the demographic tends to be women over men. And if it's men, it's other men like me who are doing similar content. So I know who I'm making content for, and it's about 20 people, and that's fine with me. I'm happy with it. Now, would I low-key like to blow up and do a million followers? Get the blue check? Yes. Absolutely. Like, who doesn't want that?
Absolutely. You know, that's and you brought up a great point on how to kind of gradually find your target audience. Is like, if someone likes a video, kind of you know,
stalk them,
interact and see what they like. And you know, it's cool, hopefully, you know, if that particular video inspired them at all, you know, perhaps you can figure out how to recreate that.
Well, let me jump in here and say that one of the reasons why I followed your content and like I consistently like them is because I like how you're doing what you're doing. I don't always relate to the content that you're making specifically. I'm not a girl. I'm not in your age demographic. I'm in a different part of my life. But what I like and what I recognize and what I like about your content, the reason I follow it and interact with it, is because I enjoy how you're doing it. And you're always putting yourself out there, and you're always trying something a little bit new, whether it's making the podcast, getting one of your friends on, and you're just being very authentic with what you're doing. And I like that. I want to see more of it. And that's why I thought it was cool to jump on here with you, is the authenticity. It sells. It's cool. We just got to find enough people that want that authenticity. And unfortunately, more people in my demographic, you're going to get a lot of creepy guys. It's going to be a lot of creepy guys who are going to go, oh, wow, here's a young girl doing content. I'm going to like her and get her DMs and be creepy about it.
No,
not all of us are like that, but
not at
there's
all.
Going to be a bulk of them.
No. Well, I really appreciate you saying that, because sometimes I post stuff and I'm like, what is wrong with me? I'm like, because it's like the judgment of external, you know, like society, like, why are you in there posting videos on your phone? It's like that judgment. And I'm like, okay, wait, you know, I should be doing something like meaningful, you know, and it's like, this could be meaningful, you know, like, I mean,
you have to decide what it is meaning. You assign meaning to things. Others don't assign meaning. You assign the meaning.
Whoa.
So if this is going to be an avenue to success, you assign that meaning, and it becomes powerful and important to you, and you keep doing that. And even if it doesn't work, here's a quote for you: is he who fails the fastest wins the fastest.
Ooh, yeah. So
fail first, fail frequently, fail often, and you'll get to success quicker than someone who's afraid to fail. So I don't know if any of your content channels, if any of the avenues you're pursuing, if any individual one of them is catching fire. I don't know, but you're gonna find eventually. You're gonna find it.
Thank you.
Something is gonna bite.
I mean, likewise, like I like your content, and I think it's just like, yeah, for me, it's like putting up that shield of the stuff that I tell myself that prevents me for like, I'll be feeling good about a certain content I make, and then I'll over question it, and that's the downward spiral, and that's where it's like, forget it, you know?
But wait, so let's say that you have that piece of content, because I have to assume right now in your head, you're thinking of a very specific video you made that like, or you could think of one quickly, where you like fell in love with it and you watched it 100 times, repeat, you're like, this is the one. And then 24 hours later, you're like, you're at average or below your normal, and you're like, why?
Yeah.
Well, does it still have value to you? Like,
ooh,
was it still good?
Hold on, guys. Let's repeat that. Does it have value to you? That is good. And that's all that matters.
Okay. Let me give you a different concept.
Okay.
There's a difference between an artist and a designer.
Ooh.
I'm a designer.
Oof.
Okay. And this is a whole podcast topic in and of itself. If you want to talk about it sometime, we'll go into it deep. Here's the too long didn't read version of it. An artist is only solving one problem, their own problem. They have a creative itch that has to be scratched. And they scratch and they make their art and they solve that problem, that need, and they give it to the world and say, I hope someone likes this. You're an artist if you do that.
Yeah.
All right. You might draw, you might do funny sketches, whatever art you're producing, whatever creative endeavor. That's an artist. A designer might be an artist too. A designer might have a background. Mine is in graphic design. I know 2D design. I know logos, branding. I know how to do corporate infrastructure as far as the branding side of things. That's my specialty.
You know the technical stuff, like super technical.
No. I know the artistic technical side of it. I know the branding side of it.
Yeah.
But so as a designer, as a creative director, my job isn't to be artistic anymore. No one cares about my creative vision. They have a problem. A client comes to you and says, here is my problem. I think I like your body of work. I've looked at your portfolio. And of course, if you want to be creative, you need a portfolio. If you don't have one and you're trying to make money off of being creative, you need to make one. And if you're doing podcasts, you need to curate your best X number of seconds and put it up on the web in one spot, next to your best, funniest skits, next to your, whatever it is you're doing, you need to have a portfolio of that work together. So someone may have seen my portfolio and thought, oh, wow, I think that Spazz can solve my problem, and they contact me. They don't really want the art per se, they want their problem solved. And so if I give them a piece of art, a logo, let's say, that I think solves their problem, and they look at it and go, well, I like it more if it's purple. And I'm thinking to myself, absolutely not. This is a black and white logo. It needs to live in that space. Right. I no longer have that. I no longer find a solution. And I'm using, I have to make it purple. I can tell them and try to be persuasive. And this is the whole part of the art of selling and being in the business of design, is getting across to them. Here's the 13 different reasons why this piece of content, this logo, is the way that I made it. Because X led to Y led to Z, and then here is a PDF spreadsheet of the different ways I did it before. That didn't show you, it looked awful. I tried it in purple. It didn't work. Why? Because when you put it on a blue background, it clashes. Your logo doesn't work in purple. You dress your employees in blue. So you don't want a purple logo. And they're like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. So sometimes you can get leverage and you can sell your expertise. But again, you're no longer an artist, you are a designer. And you use your art to fix a problem. So if you want to be an artist and put things out into the world and hope that someone likes what you're doing and wants it and buys it, that's one way to live. And it's a luxury because all you gotta do is satisfy yourself. But the word starving artist comes from somewhere. Because no one may buy it. No one may buy it. So you get the luxury of producing the art you want and no one telling you how to do it differently at the risk of not making any money. Whereas a designer, you can just sell out, as they say. Become an actor, become a designer, go do the way someone, go be directed in your art. And then because that product already has a market. Someone's already decided that there's a market that can accept the thing. And they've, just like you, they've read your aura and they know they can plug you in there and that will sell.
Right.
And that's the difference between an artist and a designer. So I'm now a designer. I got away from being an artist
I
a long time
love
ago.
that. I mean, it's almost like if only an artist can learn how to walk in the designer world. In a
Mhm.
sense, because I know like doing open mics and stuff, I see so many talented open micers and I'm like,
Mhm.
why aren't they bigger? Like
Why
people
aren't they blowing
need to
up?
I think that all the time. I see the best diamonds not discovered
Mm.
and it's like because they're not schmoozing and doing the art of
Mm.
networking. They're not doing the art of social media and having someone with the meme style stand-up comedy
Mhm,
very
mhm, mhm,
popular, have your bit
mhm.
and then have like the meme style font that
Yeah.
goes with it. They're not doing none of that. And so it's like, if only the artist who is just loves the art can figure out how to walk in that designer world
Let me challenge
so
you
they
in that
can
way.
eat. So
Let me
they can
challenge it.
eat.
No.
Yeah.
Why don't you figure out how to sell them? Give them their cut.
Right.
They'll be happy. And then
Let
you
me-
keep your cut and then you eat. And you both eat.
Yes. Let me tell you, that is the beauty. That is why talent managers exist. However,
Exactly.
the industry with social media has done this. So it's weird.
Mm.
It's because it's like, I mean, I once went for an interview with a talent agent and they looked at my numbers. They go, "Oh, you got to get your numbers up," which is true, absolutely. But it's also like that is why I need guidance. And so that would be interesting. I would love to hear the point of view of a talent manager because I mean, it's like artists need that guidance, which is the beauty of a manager.
Yeah.
But now the whole industry is kind of shaken up and managers expect the talent and artists to be ready and
So so you have an interesting dilemma there. If you want to
yeah.
go with the manager who has a track record, right? Then they are going to want talent that has a track record. One for one. If you want to have
Yes.
someone take a risk on you and manage you, you may have to take a risk on them as being a new manager. And the two of you may fail together, you may succeed together, and you both stand to gain a lot. But it's hard to expect a talent manager to take a risk on you
That is so true. Especially, I think they
when
only work
they
off.
haven't proved themselves.
Yes. What's that? Commission. That is a
Yeah.
great point. Yeah. Like if I'm making only commission, should I put my time into the person who's like not doing it themselves? No.
No.
I want to be like collabing with the person who's hungry and doing it. Making success for themselves.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness, that is good. Man, what a delightful conversation. Well,
That's been absolutely great.
yes, thank you so much for coming on. I'm like, you kind of, you and there was Tori on and Terena, All American Beard said Thomas Edison never admitted failure. He said he found 1,000 ways to not make a light bulb.
Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
amazing. That is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Well, I'm going to go get a little snack and I'm just so delighted that you came on and I finally got to meet you. I feel
We'll do it again. Hit my
really
DMs and let's find a topic and we can talk about it because I will talk all day about business, design, art, creativity. I do it professionally and my free time. That's all I do.
That's amazing. And yeah, I got my my bachelor's degree in December 2020 at FIT in New York City. Thank you for advertising marketing. So there's that shared interest as well. So yeah, we could for sure find stuff to talk about. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching and hanging out. Turned a bad night around. So good night, guys. If I out how to get off here. Oh my goodness. That is the thing about live. I'm like trying to be smooth. Like I know where the log off button is. Hold on. All right, guys. Here we go. All right. Hold on. end now.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. Follow, subscribe, and leave a good review if you can. Have an awesome day, sending you a magical amount of safety, health, happiness, and money.